give you an idea where you stack up, and help you think about exit timing, what you need to do. Most good investment bankers will do that.
Yeah.
And they'll do it, and they won't charge you, but what they're doing is they're building trust and relationships.
Sure.
So when you are ready to go, they're going to be your first call, and there's a trust there.
So when I hear investment banker, I don't think ministry. How do you, as the owner operator, how do you lace ministry and the love of Jesus into what you're doing? Because like the business world can be very, very tumultuous.
Sure.
It can be very, very cutthroat sometimes.
Right.
So how do you infuse ministry and the love of Jesus into what you're doing?
Well, it's at the forefront, and that, again, as I go back to the beginning, when I started Founders, I started it with the heart of, open hands, stewardship, inviting the Lord in. And really, that's why I so much, love, and we'll talk later about this concept of abide.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a conversation with Pastor Chris 2 days ago, and I was like, I remember when I first had this experience, and I was like, what do I do? Because my biggest fear is, like, I don't want to go back to what I was.
What do you mean to what you were?
Well, the before Christ.
Before Jesus.
Right.
I got you.
Because I went to church, and, I thought I had a faith.
Yeah, exactly.
But I had this life-changing experience, and my biggest fear was I don't want to fall back into the old way. And he basically said, well, you got to remain dependent, meaning you have to pursue God. You have to abide in Him. John 15:5 is my life verse. I love it. It's so simple, and it's so easy, and I'm a Cajun, so I think simple. Jesus said, you're the vine, I'm the branch. Or I'm the vine, you're the branch. If you abide in me, and I will abide. He said, if you abide in me, I will abide in you, and you will bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. I love that because it's so simple. It's like, if you come and connect with me and stay connected with me, I'll produce fruit. So I think the most important thing I do to share this love and this heart against my nature, which is aggressive. I'm an infantry officer. I got an edge to me. I can be hard and tough.
Sure.
I come from the days, I don't know how old you are, but I was telling my trainer this morning who works with me, I said, dude, these young guys don't like it when you kick them in the butt. They want you to just to gently encourage them. And when I was coming up, I thought they loved me if they were kicking me in the butt.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
changed.
it's a different way, but I'm learning, and so the most important thing I can do is stay connected to the vine, because that's where the fruit comes from, the fruit of the Spirit fruit, and then the heart is there, and then the heart comes into our business from day one, and it starts to penetrate the team, and you build a culture, and the culture is, we're not going to do it the way everybody else does. In fact, the first thing we set out to do was we want to serve people. We called it the golden rule plus. We don't want to just treat them like they would treat us. We want to treat them better than they would treat us. And so and now we have this whole thing at Founders. And by the way, this was totally a God thing. It came out of my pain of some of the things I went through, several years ago. It kind of going to the next level, and several mentors. But this whole concept of servant leadership, which I've always bought into servant leadership, but there's a whole nother level of servant leadership that God showed me in terms of how we love our team and people. And by the way, that's become the purpose at Founders, to become servant leaders who value relationships and results. So we hire the best and brightest. These people are superstars. Yeah. It's unbelievable, the talent we have. And we have thousands of people competing for a few spots.
Right.
And it's a great place to be. And we haven't always been there.
Yeah.
So that gives you, but generally those people are going to be, hard charging type A people. And so the biggest thing we have to do is, like, do they have the right hearts? And the way we do this in our business is we hire people that are aligned with our culture, and they have good hearts. Yeah. So they're super bright, they're very capable, but they share our values. And then guess what? It happens. It all happens. It starts, again, it sounds cliche, but it all rises and falls on leadership. So it starts with the leader, and I believe it starts with the leader. What is he making connection with the Lord the priority every day of his life?
Two-part question. What's the hardest part about the business part of what you do?
The hardest part about the business part of what we do is every January 1st, we wake up with zero revenue.
God bless it. Yeah, it's hard.
So we don't have recurring revenue. We're a project. We're in a project business, and so we wake up every January. Now we have a pipeline,
Sure.
and we have a bunch of deals, and we're working more and more to fill that pipeline. And so the second part of our business is, because we're a project-based business and because it's high stakes, there's a tremendous amount of intensity and pressure in our business. When somebody hires us, they're not in a hurry till the day they say go, and then they want it done yesterday. And time kills deals, so we're very aware of the sense of urgency. And every day that goes by is a day. You can't lose a day, and it's so hard. And that means, in our business, I equate it to this, and some people relate if they understand. I was in the Army. I was in the regular Army, but they did have something called the Special Forces, the Rangers, and all that. I didn't have the privilege to do that, but those guys were at a whole different level. And when they signed up for that, they were signing up for something different. Yeah. In our business, when you sign up for what we do, you ain't just signing up for a regular job. We tell them like, this is like the Special Forces. Like, you're going to work hard or you're going to be challenged. Like, you're going to want to quit. Because it's that hard. Because it is that hard. But what's amazing, just like in the military, if you get through it, dude, you are in a whole different class. Like these people, these young people, when they get through our 3-year kind of analyst training program, and 3 years? Well, it's 2 years of an analyst program, but it takes 3 years, but really to become an associate. If you get through that, you are prized and you're worth a lot. And the people come at our people, the recruiters, it's unbelievable because they can now almost do anything they want to do in business because they've been so well trained through that process. And so that's the hard part of our business is helping those young people get through that and stay, keep that heart and not, And we have to let some of them go because they lose the perspective of the heart, and we gently but firmly lead them on to the next thing.
What's the hardest spiritual part about what you do in the business?
I think in one of my mentors shared this with me 13 years ago, and it was a beautiful thing that I got him to. He shared this with me. Dale Dawson is one of my greatest mentors. He serves on our board. I've been knowing him for a long time. He built an investment bank, Stevens Investment Bank, up in Arkansas. We got the privilege to, me and my partners, to get him in a room about 13 years ago. And I said we hotboxed him, got him in a corner.
That's right.
Let him drink and eat, maybe once. Or
That's right.
But what he told us, he said, Duane, you're going to try, if you bring in these super talented, young, aggressive people and you overhire, you're going to wake up in 10 years and you're going to say, oh my gosh, look what these guys are doing. He said, the mistake I made, he said, is I built an amazing capitalist, productive culture, making a lot of money. He said, but I created a bunch of greedy capitalists. And he said, I would go in to give a 35-year-old young man, who I basically trained up from the get-go, go give him a 7-digit $1 million bonus, and he would cuss me out. And he was like, he goes, I couldn't believe the monster I created. So the reality is, in the world we live in, to the point you alluded to, the nature of this world is very much, I want to go get. I'm the, again, just like the Special Forces. I'm the bad guy. I mean, I'm a tough. I'm an individualist. I'm gonna go do my thing, and when I do my thing, I want to be the man.
Right.
And really, the hard part is like teaching and training a culture. That's not how we operate. We're a team. We're going to do things to serve one another. We're not going to be like those people.
Wow.
And that's and we've done it, by the grace of God, and, a lot of what we just talked about.
Here's my question. How do you give the same attention to growth in the company and the kingdom part of what you're doing? Like those can be very, very opposites.
But I don't see it that way.
Okay. How do you see it?
So I see this as they're one and the same, and this is the key. I think that this is really the message I want to share. With the guys that I'm ministering to, which are mainly business CEOs and owners who have a heart for God, and they talk about it the way you just said. Well, how do I do this and that? And it's like, no, you don't. they're aligned. You basically see them together. So you don't see, I do ministry and I do business. It's like you integrate those into an integrated thing, and you bring your ministry into your business. You bring you bring it all together. Now that's scary for a lot of people, because it's hard to not compartmentalize.
especially, and I say this, especially men, because men are compartmentalized people. Like I can leave work. I've gotten to the point now where I can leave work at work and have home at home.
Right.
It's taken a long time, but whereas like other people can't compartmentalize. And so I sometimes do compartmentalize the two things.
Right.
And that's very, very difficult.
Yeah. And so what I'm trying to encourage people to do is see this as an expression of who you are, the business. So it's just an extension, and you teach and train, and it takes a lot of work. I do every Monday. I get in front of our team and I spend about 20, 30 minutes reinforcing how this way of thinking. Like, this is not just where you come make money and do your work. This is literally where you're going to do most of your life. And what you do here and how you treat people and how it matters more than anything you're doing. And so you have to take these hard things and integrate it into how you serve your teammates, how you serve our clients, how you do everything you do. And by the way, I'm on stage for this too.
Yeah.
And it's a high bar.
Very.
And I get critiqued a lot because, I'm the target. But it's not easy, but it's easier, in my opinion, than trying to segment it into, let me go do my ministry, let me go do. So everything we're doing is integrated. So this Abide and Lead ministry is part of what we do at Founders. Like, we're bringing that into our business.
Tell me about Abide and Lead. What is that?
Yeah, so Abide and Lead is just an extension of what I've been doing for many years. We're just more formalizing kind of this, because I'm at a stage in my life. I started 10 years ago with a life coach and really planning, how do I build a great business that's sustainable past me. So the biggest goal of my business, and I think the biggest goal of leadership, should be how do you get this thing to last past you? Because that's really the mark of a great leader. So I want this business to be way bigger than me. So I started 10 years ago. Okay, how do I position myself to, bring value to the business, help us get to where we're trying to go, but not be the guy.
Yeah.
And, here I am 10 years later, and it's like, guess what? I love what I do, and I bring a lot of value to Founders, but Founders would be fine if I'm not there. Yeah. And that was the goal.
That's good.
And it's growing and thriving. I'm playing a great part. And so now I have capacity in my life and a passion towards, how do I take what I've learned in Founders through this 22-year journey? That's a huge blessing to me, and it's becoming a blessing to a lot of people within and outside of Founders, and take some of these things and go share it with other kingdom-hearted leaders who maybe hadn't seen it. Maybe they weren't mentored by Pastor Chris Hodges, who's an amazing leader and had access to being around John Maxwell and all these great leaders that have imparted into me. And so Abide and Lead is real simple. First and foremost, what I said, as a leader, it's if you're a faith-based leader and you really want to merge ministry and ministry and business, it starts with, are you connected to the vine?
Correct.
Because if you're not connected to the vine, you're just kidding yourself.
Yeah.
So it's an encouragement to all leaders, because it's easy to get disconnected. And by the way, I've been disconnected from the vine. All have. And I've been at a place that's not healthy. And I always go back to, I got to just stay connected. And so the first thing is how are you connected? So the first thing we do is take you back through a journey, an intensive on being connected to the vine. What does that mean? Yeah. How do I stay? The second part of that is, from that, now I'm going to lead from that, what God puts into me. And how do I now take that and actually integrate it into my life and business in a way that doesn't feel weird, that doesn't feel unnatural, that doesn't feel like I'm trying to force something. Yeah. It's just part of it's an expression of who I am, but it builds into our culture. And generally that is a longer term game. You can't do that overnight. No. It happens over time. But if you have a heart for that and you really want to make your business kind of a platform and build a culture where it's producing that kind of fruit, then it's very doable. So the simplicity of Abide and Lead is to get around a community of business owners and CEOs, guys that are leading, that have a heart for God, and then take them through this journey and we learn and grow together and resource them and equip them and connect them and inspire them.
So you said we've been doing it for a while, but we're now formalizing it.
Yeah.
When you say we're formalizing Abide and Lead, what does that look like?
Yeah. So what all that means for me is I'm putting more attention and resource to it. I've hired a couple guys, our buddy Jay Lee, and we've put together I never had a vision. I mean,
Sure.
I have a 501c3, which the outreach on that has been Heritage Forum.
Right.
But I've been doing this for years. I just haven't called it something. It's just what I do. And now we, have a vision, mission, purpose, values. We have a mandate. We're going to have people who are working to organize this. We have, instead of me just being my cell phone as their database.
That's right.
we're actually going to
Let me see. Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, it's gotten overwhelming for me because I have all these relationships and I can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing a good job of loving and serving these people because it's gotten bigger than I can handle. So it's really just it's starting to scale the business. It's the ministry.
You're scaling the ministry.
Scaling the ministry is what I'm doing. I'm hiring people. It's the right time. It's more than I can handle. Obviously, there's a need and there's a gifting, and God's doing something. So I'm just trying to sow into it.
What does success look like in 5 years for Abide and Lead?
The success in Abide and Lead is to see these leaders grow and mature to a place where they are, to the point you made earlier, we talked about, one of your missions here, is they're living an integrated, healthy life where they aren't just being, reactive to everything that comes at them. They literally are living on purpose with intention and making an impact. And they're in a multiplicative mode. They're not just trying to, get to the next thing, but they're literally thinking about how can I see. I'm in a multiplicative mode. So, what does that mean? A multiplicative mode is I'm reproducing what God's done. So it's the highest. It's the highest joy, and it is the life that's truly. It's the abundant life. As a leader, is like you're not just kind of leading what you have. You're literally taking it and you're sharing it with others. So it's what Pastor Chris has done with Grow and all these things. Is you take what you've learned and you go reproduce it, and the fruit of that is exponential.
It's like the college.
It's why I love Hollins College, because Hollins College is literally that model.
Yeah,
we're taking everything, the DNA that we have here, and we're imparting it to young leaders for the future.
So you've got a new podcast.
Yeah.
Impact CEO.
And Impact CEO is just one of the expressions of Abide and Lead.
Who is the Impact CEO podcast for? Who is going to listen to that and get the most out of it?
The bullseye of the target market for the Impact CEO podcast is a CEO, which is the guy who's running, the leader, not the leadership team, but the leader of a business, because that's the world I live in.
Right.
Or the owner, because they're not always the same. But the owner has a lot of influence. So the business owner, business leader, that's the world I live in, who has a heart. They're faith-driven, so they have a heart for God. They have a heart for the kingdom, and they want their business to have a kingdom impact. In other words, they want to, and I tell our guys all the time, like our business is not a ministry. It's a business. We get to do ministry.
Yeah.
But the business is a business, and so don't get confused, because the minute you think we don't have to go make it happen and produce at the highest level, then you're on the way out of here, because the business gives us the opportunity for ministry, and we can't ever people get that confused all the time. You got to have a great business, and what I believe, and I've seen in my own business, I think we can all see it through a very simple, overused example, but it's a great example of Chick-fil-A. They have a world-class business.
They do.
That's in a whole different category. They're super profitable.
Very.
Super generous. They hit the 5-star in every category.
Yeah.
I can assure you that they always wanted a great business and they worked. But I can also assure you that their heart is what compelled them towards the impact their company's having. So I don't think they did faith as a strategy. I think it was just who they were. And God used it in a way that's made them a totally different set apart business. That's a model. That's gold standard.
Right.
We study Chick-fil-A.
Sure.
We don't make chicken.
Right.
What we do is a lot different, more complicated, but we're learning a lot from them.
Right. The term money as a tool has been a term that's been floated around, because you have a lot of business people out there that they just want to go make money.
I used to be one of those.
Me and you both. Okay. So money is a tool. When I say money is a tool, how can money be used as a tool for all the good that we can do?
Well, I do think, and again, that was one of the big shifts that happened in my heart 24 years ago. Because I did very much was focused on the means to the end. I'm going to go do business so I can get a bunch of money so then I could go do something good.
Correct.
And that's
segmented.
That's a terrible way to think about it. And by the way, the opposite happened. It didn't work out for me.
That's right.
Thank God. Thank you, Lord. And today I think about it way different. I mean, I really, for 24 years, I've been thinking more like, how can I take what God's uniquely gifted me and go apply those to add value to people? And if I add value to people, it's going to create value for them, and they're going to be willing to pay me, and I don't have to worry about it. God's going to bless me to the degree. And so I think about it totally different. Now, from that, again, hard work and ups and downs and all that, we've been very blessed beyond measure, and now all of a sudden we have way more resource. I have way more resource personally than I need. And part of that is because I have a great life, but I have an amazing lifestyle.
Right.
So I'm not one of these guys that are suffering, I can assure you.
Sure.
And I'm not proud of that. I'm just saying that's just,
it's just the way it is.
I live a very good life, but I also have a very thoughtful approach to stewardship where just because I have more doesn't mean I'm going to go spend more. And I'm pretty disciplined in that because what I want to do, my heart motivation is I want to be able to give more. I want to be more generous. Yeah. And when you're more generous, what happens, again, the Bible talks a lot about this. A lot of it is why we do what we do. What's the heart motivation? I'm not giving. Now I get benefits from giving, and I know this. Yeah. Okay, so I don't hide from it. It's like I've sponsored things and do things because there's a verse in the Bible about having favor. You're building favor. But the biggest heart motivation.
But you're not giving for favor.
No, I'm not giving for favor.
Yeah.
That's it. The heart motivation is I get to invest in the kingdom. And if you have a kingdom mindset, you understand that you're storing up treasures in heaven. You're paying it forward. It's the best investment you can make. It is the highest, the best. And if you think that way and you really understand that, it's why I'm like super excited about building this business, blessing all these people, blessing my family, but having opportunity capital that I can invest in Hollins College and the kingdom. I get the most excitement out of that because I see the eternal opportunity there. Now, again, not everybody can see that. It's partly what I love sharing with people to help them see it. Yeah. Because it is the highest. It's the highest form of living, and I think a lot of people get a glimpse of it, but they don't really see it. Sure. And part of it is because they've never been mentored or coached in a way that they get to see that. And and what happens is the way God works is, and again, this isn't the word we all hear. The more I've experienced, the more you move towards that, the more blessed you become. Absolutely. Like your business, everything flourishes.
Yeah. You talked earlier about a mentor. So give me, who are two mentors you've had that have like, these two guys have shaped who other than God and the Holy Spirit, these two, clarify that. These two humans have had the most impact on me. Yeah. Who are they?
Well, I mean, and I know it probably sounds cliche, and I'm not just doing this to say it but I mean, I every time I think about this, the first person that comes to mind is Pastor Chris. Yeah. I mean, and again, we have a very close relationship, but I don't hang out with him all the time. I love him. We do things together, but really I've been mentored to him by him more just being in his church. Sure. And being around him, serving on the board, Hollins College, just really watching him as just a member of Church in the Highlands. Yeah. And his leadership. He's an amazing leader. I've learned so much. I'm still learning every day from him. So I'd be remiss if I didn't say, like, he's probably, not to mention, he led me to Christ. To Jesus, so that was the most impactful thing that ever happened to me. Second, and there's a lot of them, and I hate to say this because, there's so many great. Exclude, but one that comes to mind, and I mentioned earlier, is Dale Dawson, because Dale Dawson is a guy that I met at the right time in my life who had gone before me, had done what I was trying to do, but had learned from the mistakes and said, I'm going to tell you what we did right, and I'm going to tell you what if I had to do it over again. Because at 50 years old, he quit and went into ministry because he wasn't living ministry in business. Yeah. And he created monsters. unintentional consequences. And he said, but if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it the way you're trying to do it, Duane. I'd do it with the heart, and I'd build a culture that values people more than results.
Yeah.
And values principle and values God.
Yeah.
Now we don't just hire people that go to church at Highlands.
No doubt. Yeah.
You know,
It's not
and then
on the
even all of
application
them-
process.
Yeah, not even all of them probably, believe what I believe. So,
Right.
but it's a great opportunity. We've had a lot of people in our firm over the years come to
That's
faith.
amazing.
Yeah.
So if you could go back to your younger self, what would you warn him about?
I don't know, and I do this often because I've got all these young people I get to sow into. In fact, you love this. I had, we have like 10 new analysts, interns, and they're young go-getters. And one of my guys was like, hey, last year you took us all out and did a workout, F3 workout. And what about, so let's go.
Let's go.
And man, it's so much fun, because,
Yeah.
I mean, very rarely because normally I'm working out with these guys that are younger than me that can whoop me. But, these guys spend so much time working, I guess they're not working out.
They're working for you.
And they were like, man,
Yeah.
you put a hurting on
That's
us, right?
right.
I'm like, hey, man, I still
Yeah.
got it.
That's right. I still got it.
But,
Yeah.
but I get the chance to mentor a lot of these young guys. I mean, the main thing I'm always trying to get to is their heart and trying to get them connected to, the Lord. Because, like I said, if I had to do it over again, and I wouldn't because it's worked out the way it has, but just my way of seeing things was off. And it was really a hard thing because I was just kind of seeing it the way the world sees it. And so, going back to my younger self, it's really just understanding the simplicity of it's not a zero-sum game. This is a world of plenty. We can live win-win. In other words, that God's brought you here for a purpose. You got a purpose. You got to know what your purpose is, and I don't
Right.
believe you can know it unless you know Him.
Right.
And that's how I came to my purpose. And by the way, your purpose over time can even shift and change,
absolutely.
and it does.
Mine has.
Yeah. So, but just to know that, and so you wake up every day with a whole different view of the world. It's not so much what I can go get from the world; it's what I can bring.
Right.
And when I bring it in the way that's authentic and true to who I am, and my partner Zane, he's always said this: I just need to be the best me I can be.
That's it.
And look, let me tell you, you know this. Still, I at times get around these super. I got around you. Look how bowed up you are, man. I wish I was that bowed up. I'm just saying it's easy to get in
Sure.
the mode of, being around these really amazing leaders. Go, dang, I'm nothing,
Yeah.
and kind of feeling that. But then you go, no, but I'm who God called me to be, and I'm exactly where I'm
Right.
supposed. And when you get to that place, that's a superpower because then you're just
Comparison is the ultimate stealer of joy.
right.
No matter if it's someone physically, someone financially, someone spiritually. I
Right.
mean, we can get around people and we can see who they are. We can see what they look like. We can see their bank account or whatever.
Right.
And it could make us feel like less. And Zane's right. I mean, God created us so differently and so uniquely that being the best version of that and it's hard. But it's a daily thing. So that goes to my next question is,
Which again, just I got to put this
Yeah.
plug in. Why I go back to this concept of abiding, because every morning I don't wake up feeling so great. I mean, lots of times I wake up with all kinds of doubts and fears, but the first thing I do is I go spend time trying to get regrounded in who I am, my identity in Christ, who He is, and that just without that, it's so easy to get lost.
Sure. Tell me about practical daily stuff that you do that helps you. I don't know, mentally, physically, spiritually. Give me the things that are non-negotiables in your life.
Yeah. Well, the first one, like I just said,
Yeah.
is I spend time with the Lord, and I'm in a rhythm right now. I'm just recently this year kind of I've always made that a priority, but I've gone to another level at this stage of my life where I'm going to bed earlier, waking up earlier. So I wake up at around 4:30, and the first thing I do, get a cup of coffee, and I spend time in the Word. I spend time in prayer. I spend time journaling, just trying to get grounded in who I am and in God's Word. And I have a little group of men that we kind of, we don't meet together, but we text and like a little accountability group. Then I spend about 20 or 30 minutes with my wife, who, is up. She gets up early. We connect, we pray. And, again, a lot of people that know me, I mean, I've been married 34 years, love my wife. I've had, it's not always been the easiest relationship for me, and I've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. So I work very hard at trying to maintain and build our relationship. Spend time with her. We're actually going through a book right now together that's awesome, The Meaning of Marriage, which I highly recommend for anybody, Tim Keller. And then I go to the gym and I work out for about an hour. I come home. After that, I do my workout, and I generally like to get ready for my day.
Yeah.
I spend time trying to encourage people. I spend time going through my calendar. I take a shower. I have breakfast. And then normally I try to get to the office around 8:30 or 9, which is way different than I used to operate.
How'd you used to operate?
I used to operate, I would go to the office and do a lot of those things. And, I wanted to be there early. And, I wanted to lead by example.
Sure.
As like an infantry officer. And at this stage of my life, that's not who I need to be. I'm playing a different role. But so I'm doing that a little different. And then, I generally, in the evenings, I try to get home, with 5:36, have dinner with my wife. And then, I like to do stuff. I love people. So
Stuff. What is do stuff?
I'm always trying to encourage my wife. I mean, she's more of an introvert.
Yeah.
We both love to host people. So I love to host people over for dinner. I love to go out and do things with people. I like to do things, and so we have a balance because she prefers to be home. And then on the weekends, I love the outdoors. So I'm a big outdoorsman. I got a farm. I love being at the farm, and during hunting season, I love to fish. I got a place with dolphin. I love to fish, saltwater fish. We're going to the lake. So I love to do stuff. I'm very active. And then the overarching thing is I love to host people to do kind of adventures with a purpose.
Yeah.
So I love purpose. That's part of what we're doing at Buy and Lead, is take people on trips. I just recently got back from a trip in the Amazon. We were peacock bass fishing. I, was in Rwanda doing a trip with my daughter on kind of some, I call it a purposeful vacation. It's kind of like a mission, but we're doing some fun stuff, safari and all that. And I'm about to go to Argentina with some guys. I go to Argentina every year. In fact, I'm taking PC and some guys.
You going bird hunting?
Yeah, bird hunting. I love the bird hunt. So I went there once, and I'm like, Lord willing, I'm gonna come here every year.
All the time. That's good.
Because you can shoot in 4 days in Argentina. You can shoot the amount of ducks, doves, and most people don't do pigeons, but we shoot pigeons and parties. Or ducks and doves. In 4 days, you can shoot what most people shoot in a lifetime in Alabama.
Wow.
In 4 days.
That's unbelievable.
So if you like to bird hunt, you ought to come with
You ought to go with you. Tell me, this is an odd question, and I don't ask this often. What are some things that you stay away from?
To answer that question truthfully, it's more when I want to spend my time doing. So there's not a lot of things that I think about, like I'm going to stay away from that.
Yeah, sure.
Avoid it. Now, there are situations. So when I go on trips or do things, or people invite me on trips, I'm very hesitant to go on trips with other people because if I don't know them, I don't want to ever get in a situation where I'm doing something or being somewhere that I don't want to be, and I'm stuck. And that's probably a little bit of a fear.
Is that a control thing, though?
It's a control thing.
Yeah, sure.
It's definitely a control thing. But
at least you know it.
yeah, of course it's a control thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be in environments that are gonna not be life giving.
Yeah.
And you get around guys and situations and you get to like when I'm at my hunting camp or when I'm hosting a trip, they ain't no monkey business.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have fun and we're gonna relax, but there's no things that are like on the border of no, we shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
And when you loosen up and hang around high capacity CEO leader guys with a lot of money, all of a sudden you're like, dude, what are y'all doing? Like no. I'm not part of this.
We don't do this stuff.
Yeah, we don't do that. So that's probably, I have a high bar and sensitivity to that, which makes me want to control it and just say, look, I'll do it. Now, I mean, of course, I go on trips with people I know real well.
Sure.
And know their character and stuff. But that's probably one. I stay away from situations and environments I can't control with people I don't really know.
You don't really know. The hunting, the fishing. Why do you love that? My son, let me tell you this. My son I didn't grow up hunting and fishing.
Right.
We were a sports family. My son absolutely adores hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, well, I'll teach you,
He's 13.
Yeah.
And he knows so much more about that world than I do. And
Right.
like, I feel like a failure sometimes
Don't.
because we just joined a small hunting club. It's like
Yeah.
11 dudes. It's right here close to the house.
Right.
It's like 3,000 acres.
Good for you.
But listen, Duane, I know nothing.
Right. All you got to do is listen to a couple podcasts.
I'm trying. I'm trying the best I can. So Clint Spears, I don't know if you know Clint. We're sitting there at dinner one night because him and Carrie, we go out with them a lot. And I said, Tegan really loves hunting. He said, you need to join a hunting club. I was like, oh man, I don't know anybody. He looked at me and he got on me. He's like, you know plenty of people. And he said, you got the means. He said, your job is to go find you a hunting club and a place to take Tegan.
That's awesome.
And so we did. But why the outdoors? Why do you love the outdoors so
I mean,
much?
so one of my mentors, my heroes, was my grandfather, my mom's dad. He was a Cajun. I mean, literally, you look up Cajun,
It's
his
his picture?
Like,
That's
he
good.
could barely speak English.
Yeah.
He was an amazing man, and he and I were just like two peas in a pod. And so when I was coming, my dad wasn't a hunter or a fisher. He did a little fishing, but he didn't grow up hunting and fishing. He didn't really have a dad that did it. My grandfather was a big outdoorsman, and I just idolized him as a kid, and he would take me hunting and take me fishing, and so I just fell in love with it. And of course, you associate those things with the experience and all that. So it's just something in me, and I just love the outdoors. So I don't know, man. It's in my blood, and a lot of the family, my mom's side of the family, had all that in them, and it's almost like a gene or something that gets in you, and you just. I don't know, man. It's just
love it.
It's just what I love to do. It's like so I love to hunt and fish. I really do. I enjoy the heck out of it.
I know what you're fixing to say.
But what I love more than that is I love taking people.
Yeah.
I mean, the people part of it.
Yeah, that's huge.
And it's the hospitality side. I love to cook.
Yeah.
And I'm, dude, you need to come. Like, there's nothing better. I'd take Pettis and his boys. You know, I love getting them down on my farm and just, you know, getting them to do that experience and then cooking meals and hanging out and just doing the fellowship.
Being together.
Yeah. And that's the biggest part of what we do in Argentina, man. It's like have all these meals. The food's phenomenal.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And it's like all meat.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And it's like, dude, it's
you
so
don't feel
good.
heavy. That's good. As we finish up, like Abide and Lead is obviously, Founders Advisors is thriving, doing great.
Yeah. Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord. And if there's a business owner out there that's thinking about that, they can contact you through foundersadvisors.com. What is it? What is it? Website?
It's Founders IB. I as in ink, B as in boy.com. So
Okay.
it's Founders IB.
Foundersib.com. If there's a business owner out there looking in that
Yeah,
world.
and that's something I just want to encourage to the point we made earlier. Even if you're kind of like building a company and wanting to try to learn and understand, you know, where you are in that cycle and all that, we have a lot of tools that we can help.
Perfect.
So we'd love to help you, again, in some way. We have a lot of ways we can do that.
Okay, so the Abide and Lead. So if someone wants, is there's an owner or founder or CEO that's out there that wants to be involved in Abide and Lead, what's the best thing for them to do?
Yeah, so we are in the process right now of really building out our ministry. We're building our website. But today, if you want to get in touch with us and want to start kind of receiving, you know, the resources that we have to help you, you would contact Jay Lee
Ellison, okay,
who's
perfect.
leading our team at Abide and Lead, and his email.
I'll put Jay Lee's email in the
put his
description.
email up there.
So,
and then of course, if you have anything on the founder side, you know, he can get us connected.
That's great. Duane, you've done a wonderful job. Appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate being here, man.
Yes, sir.